Okay, everybody, this is day 3.1 Photoshop. We're going to go through text again just to be on the safe side. I want to go over it so you guys know it, and I'm not there to ask questions, so we're going to go through this. So I go to the text tool. It's all the way down on the bottom. Click right here, and you'll notice up top you have what you have. You have your text, what kind of type it is, if it's got regular, if it's got bold, if it's got light, the size, strong. We got our definitely up top. We have um, our justifications. Everything looks good, and we'll start typing something right now. So go up here, go boom. We'll put down Moran is king. Of course, Moran is king. One of the cool things is we're to come here, click on it, move it around, and there you go. So one of the nice things is if we want to highlight this and make it bigger, come here, mess with it. We can type in, let's type in something. Let's go 150. Enter, looks big, looks great. And notice over here in my layers, it says Moran is king. This should all be something you know. We've already gone through this once, but again, I'm redoing an edification. If I want to change the color, it's right here, right past the justifications, or the alignments. We have our color. It's just a matter of picking something nice. We'll go green again. Oh no, that's an ugly green. That looks hideous too, so we're gonna go to blue. So now we have our blue there. Again, now we have this here. It's our warp tool, which is fantastic. If I click on it, you will see it looks just like Illustrator was. Move this over here, pop it here. Say if I want to do a flag, it shows it. We have the blend. We can do as much as you want. You'll see how it changes. The actual black changes first, and the text follows suit. We can do vertical and horizontal, so things can change. That is totally messed up. But if you want to do a little bit more like that, it looks pretty cool. Okay. Again, do whatever you want. If you like it, hit OK. If not, just go cancel. We also then have next here, it looks next to the warp, we have is a little envelope with some lines on it. Kind of looks like the brush, but again, if I click on it, it's going to bring up all of my characters. And I'll put those over here. It tells me my height. It tells me if I have a second line, what the actual leading is, which is the spacing in between first line and second line. We have our metrics, which is our spacing in between. These are our percentages. We got all kinds of cool things here. You should know all this. It's pretty much just like if you're working in a Word document. We have our percentages here and here. Let's make this 56, just a random number, short and squatty, and it works really well. But let's go back to 100. Hit enter. But it works well. We have our bolding. If we want to even bolder, I don't think we need it. Italicize, you name it, we have it, and that's where it is. But again, it's right here. We also, if we have a paragraph, we can do our paragraph stuff here. It works out well, but we won't be working with paragraphs just yet, so I'm just going to let that go, but you should know that too. If you like what you have, I'm just going to X out of this, give the old check mark, and we're good to go, okay? And it moves quite well. If I want to, I can Control T this. As you know, Control T lets me do whatever I want. I can change things. It will stay in proportion in Photoshop unless I hold the old Shift button, and then I'm able to distort it and do whatever I want. When I do that, it will show up in the characters. If I come over, if I go to characters and Windows and characters, notice it has changed here. It will not show you what it is because it's so distorted, but it is there, and you can see what I just done. So there is the type tool. I think it's pretty cool. It is something that we're going to need for our first project that we're going to do through e-learning. So that's why I wanted to go over it, and you now have this to fall back on. Now, as you can see over in layers, it says Moran is king, and whatever I type in, it will work out wonderfully. Let's make this a little bit bigger, and I'm going to make it a little bit more than that, so you guys can see this pretty well. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun, and let's delete this, and let's type in something brand new. Yes, I did this on the other one, on the Photopea, and I actually laughed at it, and I'm going to laugh at my same dad joke again. I wrote down that love my whoop dash. Can't see it yet, because we're going to come here to our characters. And notice this is terrible. We want to put it on auto. Let's highlight this. Gotta highlight all of this. We're having a little technical difficulties. Here we go. And we have it at 9. Why it was set at 9, I have no idea. Let's go to auto. And notice what it says. Love our e-learning. So I'm going to come here and type in a different number. I'm going to do like 160. Yeah, bring it a little closer. Let's go to 100. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. And I like that. So we're going to stick with this. Get rid of that. And as you saw, there's what the actual leading was. It's the space in between. So Control T this. Let's make this big. Hold that shift down. Love and life. Love and love and life. So now on the bottom of our layers here, as it says love my e-learning. We have the FX. Hit my enter button. Notice it's highlighted. In Photopea, it's called EFF. But again, it looks identical, just a different font. So I click here. I go to my blending options. This is identical to Photopea. So again, if you guys are in a pinch and you lose your ability to use Photoshop, or you can't afford it anymore, the actual monthly payment, Photopea is quite brilliant. I'm pretty pleased with it, very much so. But again, notice we have all different types of things. We have our bevel and emboss. If we want to put it on it, it's going to be on there. We have to come here and click on it to see it. I should get a little closer to this. It won't let me get a little closer. So what we're going to do is let's go with bevel inside. Yes, for sure. I want to go with a hard chisel. Let's do our depth a little bit more. You can start seeing it now. Let's do our size. There we go. You can start seeing it big time. I'm not going to soften it. Notice I can change the angle of the light. It shows it up here on my thing, or over here to the right, you have like the little preview. Always click the preview button over here if you don't see it on your letters. I like to see it. It works out really well. We can do different contours. We can do something that's funky like this. As you can see, things change up pretty easily. There's some pretty cool things that we have. Go ahead. Like I say, it's playtime. That's why I'm showing you this. Play with some things. We can also put strokes on things. Again, I can click several of these things. If I want to do a drop shadow, let's click down here. Click again on the word drop shadow so we can see how this changes. You can see how it changes from bevel and emboss up here down to drop shadow down here. And I can start doing things. Let's make the opacity a little bit more. No, we're going to leave it soft. Put the distance, the spread, nice, and the actual size. We're going to really blow it out like that if we really want to. So it shows that it's much greater around. But, let's bring it down. Let's bring down the size too. Now, the cool thing is if I change the angle, the light angle up here, it's going to change for both the actual bevel and emboss. The bevel I have, notice the light, and the actual shadow. 1 and 2 are connected. So whatever light source you use, if you use light sources on any of these in the blending options, know that it will change and it will sync up exactly the same. So again, go ahead and play through these. There's cover overlays, there's gradient overlays. You can put a stroke on it. Let's see if you want to put a stroke on this. We do not want to put a black one. Let's just do a radical red one so we can see it. We'll make our size a little bit bigger, and notice you can start seeing it big time. We don't want to go on the inside. Let's go to the outside, and notice you can see it really well. Okay, but real simple things. If you don't like it, I can click them off. But once I like it, hit OK, and notice you can see them down here. Okay, and same thing in Photopea. It says EFF here with a little triangle, and it clicks, and then it actually shows them. I can take each one away if I want to. Say I don't like it later. It looks terrible. Instead of going back and redoing it, just hit the eyeball and it goes away. So that's your text. It works out really well. Absolutely love it. You're going to need to know it. So I would suggest you mess around with it, just understand it again, kind of refresh your memory because we've had a couple weeks off with all this that's going on. All right, everybody, I will finish up with day 3.2 in Photoshop, and we'll be looking at the pen tool, and we'll be looking at the shape tool. You guys be good.